Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Iyetunde Adeyemi and I have been a flight attendant since April 2007. So today we are going to be talking about the 5 top grooming standards of airlines. So if it's something you're interested in, let's get into it. So the first one we're going to be talking about is makeup. Yes, makeup for the females, very important. Now, every airline has their grooming standards where it has to do with makeup, especially when it comes to lipstick color. However, the basic things you are meant to have as a flight attendant is powder, foundation, eyeshadow. The eyeshadow preferably nude colors. So if you're buying a palette, buy a nude palette. Lipstick, eye pencil, preferably black. And if you're the fair type, you can put brown. Brow pencil, eye pencil. I'm not going to really say lip gloss because some airlines have a standard of no lip gloss policy. And mascara. So when it comes to lipstick colors, I would advise you to buy nudes. There are different nudes color. There's the pinky nude, there's the brownish nude, and there's the nude itself. So you can stock yourself with at least 3 nude colors and 1 red and 1 wine. Now, the reason why I said 1 red, 1 wine is because some airlines do not accept red as a lipstick color. They do not accept the red color. So that's why I say the grooming standards of airlines differ. I have worked in an airline where red wasn't a color. What we're expected to wear is nude. I have also worked in an airline where nude was not accepted as a lipstick color. It was only red and wine that was the accepted color. So the reason why I'm saying this is I don't want anything to catch you unawares. You can actually be taken off the flight if you are not properly groomed. Grooming standards are highly important, and most airlines actually have grooming officers that actually check you before your flight to be sure that you are properly groomed for the flight. The second one we're going to be talking about beards for the male flight attendant. As a male flight attendant, if you are the type that loves to keep beards, I would advise that you find out if that policy is accepted in the airline of your choice. Because I know for a fact that there are some airlines that do not accept beards at all. Remember, before flights, there are grooming officers, and if you do not adhere to those standards, you'll be taken off the flight. And when you are going for interview, I advise that you look the part, look like their flight attendants, so that they can imagine you in their uniform. Very, very important. If you're on dreadlocks, there are some airlines that do not accept dreadlocks. So if you want to work, if your dream is to work for that airline, you will have to remove your dreadlocks. I remember one interview that I went for, and there was this guy that came in a dreadlocks. In as much as they eventually took him after his employment, after they employed him, and I saw him later, I noticed that he had removed the dreadlocks. So some airlines are that lenient whereby they'll tell you to go and remove the dreadlocks, while some airlines, they expect you to know what their standards are. So if you come in with the dreadlocks for the interview, you might not go to the next stage. So please do your findings. The next grooming standard I'm going to talk about are your nails. If you are the type that you don't believe in fixing your nails, don't bother becoming a cabin crew, because this is very important. The reason why you fix your nails, the reason why your nails have to be groomed is because you serve passengers with your hands, and so your nails have to be well groomed. The ideal colors: French tips, nude. The reason why I'm not calling the color red is because I know there are some airlines that do not accept red or wine. So depending on the airline, like an airline like Emirates, I know definitely well that red is acceptable. An airline like Qatar Airways, red is acceptable. But however, an airline like Etihad, whereby purple and dark brown is their uniform color, I'm very sure that maybe their grooming standard for their nails will be French tips or nude. So for some airlines in Nigeria, like the airline I previously worked, what was acceptable was red nails or wine. Just like red lipstick or wine lipstick. That was what was acceptable. Also, the nail part too, um it was wine, red, and French tips. That was what was accepted. So they have their grooming standard, find out. But if you're going for an interview, I would advise that play on the safe side and just do French tips, because French tips is like a general type of grooming standard when it comes to nails that is accepted by airlines. So do a French tips. Please do not do long nails. It's not acceptable. Do it as short as possible. Let it look like you. Let it look so natural. But it's French tips. The next one I'm going to talk about is your smell. This is even actually the most important. Invest in smelling good. Invest in a good deodorant. Invest in a good roll-on. There's no excuse of, I don't know which roll-on is good, and these roll-ons are expensive. There's no excuse to have body odor. You need to do something to make sure that you smell good at all times. If you know your armpit has a kind of odor, you can use lime. Now, this lime is not for everyone. However, if you're the type that you don't use anything because you feel that you're natural, as a cabin crew, you need to get that mentality off you. It's important that you put on a roll-on or a deodorant and you invest in a very good perfume. I would suggest some very nice designer perfumes if you can afford it. But if you cannot afford the designer perfumes, when you get your flight attendant job, please, when you're buying your toiletries, start to think designer. But if you're still trying to get a job, you can get a nice perfume that smells. But please make sure that you invest in mist, body spray. Smelling good is highly important.